The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. Welcome to Book Summaries, your daily deep dive into the world's most captivating books, distilled into their most potent, thought-provoking essence. Today, we're stepping into the mesmerizing realm of The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, a bold, intricate guide to the timeless craft of charm, influence, and desire. This isn't just about romance. It's a masterclass in human nature, a toolkit for winning hearts, swaying minds, and commanding attention in any sphere of life. Robert Greene, the sharp-eyed chronicler of power and strategy, pulls back the curtain on history's greatest seducers, Cleopatra, Casanova, Marilyn Monroe, and hands us their playbook. So settle in, clear your thoughts, and let's unravel this seductive journey, step by irresistible step. Picture a bustling cafe, voices overlapping, cups clinking, and one person stands out, not with noise but with an effortless magnetic pull. Eyes drift their way, conversations pause, and they've barely spoken. That's seduction in its purest form. It's not a cheap pickup line or a fleeting flirt. It's a profound art, a blend of psychology, charisma, and raw human connection. In his 2001 classic, Greene weaves together the triumphs of legendary figures: Cleopatra enchanting Roman generals with her exotic allure, Casanova igniting passion across Europe with reckless devotion, Monroe captivating millions with a single, playful smile, and distills their magic into lessons we can all use. Seduction, he argues, is power. Power over emotions, power over destinies, power over the world around us. Today, we're diving into this rich tapestry, exploring the seductive archetypes that define the game and the meticulous steps that bring it to life. Let's begin with the why. Why seduction is a craving we all share. The core of seduction, a hunger we can't deny. Greene starts with a truth that hits close to home. We all yearn to be seduced. Life's a grind, endless emails piling up in your inbox, the same commute every morning with the same gray buildings flashing by, screens glowing with predictable noise and recycled headlines. And deep down, we're desperate for something to break the cycle. Seduction is that break, a spark that lifts us from the ordinary into a world of wonder, excitement, and possibility. It's not about trickery or manipulation in the sleazy sense. It's a shared experience, a dance where both the seducer and the seduced find joy in the rhythm. Think of it as stepping into a story, a fantasy that wraps around you like a warm breeze, pulling you in with every glance, every word, every fleeting touch that promises more. But here's the brilliance. Seduction isn't chaos or chance. It's a deliberate craft, a science of the heart and mind with clear patterns and principles. Greene splits it into two essential parts. First, who you are as a seducer, your character, your unique allure, the vibe you project into the world. And second, what you do to captivate your target, a detailed 24-step process that turns fleeting interest into lasting enchantment. The first part is about discovering your seductive identity, the special flavor of charm that sets you apart from the crowd, whether it's a mysterious air or a fiery passion. The second is a tactical guide, a step-by-step choreography to draw anyone into your orbit, be it a lover you're wooing, a friend you're winning over, or a room full of strangers hanging on your every word. We'll explore both in depth, starting with the cast of characters, the 9 seductive archetypes that shape this art. The seducer's archetypes, your tools of enchantment. Greene introduces 9 seductive types, each a distinct shade of magnetism. These aren't rigid labels you're stuck with, they're essences, sparks you can ignite, blend, or tailor to your own personality. Let's meet them, one by one, and uncover their secrets with stories that bring them to life. First up is the Siren. She's fantasy incarnate, a vision so powerful she bends reality around her. Cleopatra was the ultimate siren, sailing to meet Mark Antony on a golden barge in 41 BC, its sails soaked in rare perfumes from the east, her voice a soft, hypnotic melody that lingered like a dream in the salty air. She didn't just show up. She transformed the moment into a spellbinding theater, turning battle-hardened generals into her devotees. Julius Caesar fell first, abandoning Rome's politics for her embrace after their meeting in Alexandria. Antony followed, trading his empire for a chance to kneel at her feet during their years-long affair. The Siren's strength lies in excess, sensuality dialed up to an intoxicating level, mystery cloaking her every move like a veil of twilight. To become a Siren, Greene advises, lean into your senses. Wear clothes that catch the light and cling just right. Let your scent drift like a subtle lure. Hint at danger or the unknown with a glance that promises secrets. She's not just seen, she's felt. A mirage that promises everything and reveals just enough to keep them chasing. Next comes the Rake. He's the rogue, the reckless lover who lives for passion with wild, unbridled abandon. Giacomo Casanova, the infamous 18th-century playboy, was the Rake personified, seducing women across Europe with a fervor that felt like fate itself. One story stands out. In Venice, he met a noblewoman named Teresa and launched an all-out pursuit. Sonnets scribbled by candlelight in his cramped attic, roses delivered to her doorstep every morning by a hired boy, a duel fought with a rival suitor in the Piazza San Marco, even a daring climb to her balcony under moonlight, nearly breaking his neck in the process. She couldn't resist the sheer force of his devotion. It swept her away like a tidal wave, and they spent weeks tangled in passion. The Rake's power is obsession, raw, unapologetic, and laser-focused. To channel him, pick your target and flood them with attention, letters that sing their praises, glances that pierce through a crowded room, promises that thrill the soul with their intensity. He's the storm they can't escape, and they don't want to. Then there's the ideal lover. This seducer is a master of adaptation, crafting themselves into their target's perfect vision. Rudolph Valentino, the silent film star of the 1920s, embodied this, studying each woman he met, molding himself to her deepest desires. One might long for a brooding poet, so he'd whisper tender verses in her ear under the glow of a studio light. Another craved a dashing hero, so he'd sweep her off her feet in a dramatic flourish during a late-night dance. When he died young in 1926 at age 31, fans rioted in New York streets, thousands weeping for the fantasy he'd built for them over his short, meteoric career. His secret: empathy, listening intently, adapting swiftly, delivering exactly what they yearned for. Greene says this isn't just for romance. It's a skill for life. Think of a friend who always knows what you need or a salesperson who reads your every cue like a book. The ideal lover becomes the missing piece they didn't know they were searching for. The dandy defies convention, bold, playful, a whirlwind of style and spirit. Oscar Wilde was a dandy supreme, strutting through Victorian London in velvet suits and silk scarves, his wit sharp enough to slice through the stiffest social norms. He'd quip, "Many lack the originality to lack originality," at a dinner party, and crowds would hang on his every syllable, laughing and marveling. David Bowie followed in the 1970s, his Ziggy Stardust persona blending masculine swagger with feminine grace, teasing the world with glitter-dusted audacity on stages from London to New York. Dandies seduce with their freedom, unbound by gender, tradition, or expectation. To pull this off, embrace your quirks, wear what shocks or delights, speak what surprises, keep them guessing with every move. The dandy's allure is their fearless individuality, a dance that dares you to join. The natural enchants with innocence, raw, unpolished, a burst of childlike wonder. Audrey Hepburn radiated this quality. Her wide eyes and playful stumbles on the set of Roman Holiday in 1953 won over everyone around her. One day, she tripped over a cable during a take, laughed it off with a giggle that echoed through the Roman streets, and the crew fell harder for her charm. There was no artifice, just pure, unguarded truth shining through. The natural's power is vulnerability shedding the mask, letting flaws shine through like sunlight breaking through clouds. Greene ties this to the universal appeal of a child's spontaneity, honest, disarming, impossible to resist. To be a natural, drop the pretense. Laugh too loud, fumble your words, be gloriously human in all your imperfections. It's a breath of fresh air in a world of polished facades. The coquette is the master of the tease, hot one moment, cold the next, always just beyond reach. Josephine Bonaparte played this game with Napoleon to perfection, sending him flirty, passionate letters like, "I awake full of you" from Paris in 1796, then vanishing for days or weeks, leaving him to scribble desperate pleas. "I die without you, come back to me." She'd waltz through Parisian balls in shimmering gowns while he stewed in his military camp, her absence sharpening his longing into an obsession that fueled his letters for years. The coquette's strength is delay, offering a taste of warmth or promise, then pulling back, making the chase irresistible. To wield this, give generously attention, a smile, a lingering touch, then withdraw unexpectedly, leaving them hungry for more. It's the push and pull that hooks them deep. The charmer wins with effortless grace, warmth, flattery, a glow that melts defenses. Bill Clinton's a modern charmer working a 1990s fundraiser with firm handshakes, steady eye contact, and compliments that stuck like honey on the tongue. He'd recall a stranger's kid's name from a passing chat months ago, toss a casual "you're doing amazing," and leave them beaming with pride as they walked away. Charm's power is generosity, giving attention, praise, comfort without asking much in return. Greene says it disarms. People can't resist someone who makes them feel seen and valued. To be a charmer, spread light, compliment freely, listen deeply, offer ease like a warm blanket on a cold night. It's the sun they orbit without even realizing it. The charismatic radiates energy, bold, electric, a force that commands the room. Martin Luther King Jr. embodied this. His "I Have a Dream" speech in 1963 wasn't just words. It was a thunderclap, pulling 250,000 people into his vision of justice and hope on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Joan of Arc, too, a teenage peasant in the 1420s whose unshakable faith rallied French armies against impossible odds, her voice cutting through the chaos of war like a beacon. Charismatics don't just attract, they inspire, fueled by a passion that burns bright and bold. Greene's advice: find your fire, let it blaze through every word and gesture, whether you're rallying a crowd or lighting up a quiet conversation. Their presence is a call no one can ignore. Finally, the star. Distant, glamorous, a myth made real. Greta Garbo ruled this realm, her rare films like Grand Hotel in 1932 and her reclusive life turned her into a goddess. She'd vanish from Hollywood after a handful of roles, leaving fans to worship her silence, projecting their dreams onto her untouchable glow. Marilyn Monroe had it too. Her sparkle felt otherworldly, even surrounded by crowds on bustling film sets. The star's allure is inaccessibility. Stay elusive, let them chase the idea of you. Greene says cultivate distance, become a legend in their minds, a figure larger than life. They're the light they reach for but never fully grasp. These archetypes are your toolbox. You're not locked into one. Maybe you're a charmer with a rake's edge or a natural with a siren's mystique. Greene's point is clear. Find your spark, amplify it, blend it if you dare. That's the foundation of your seductive power. The process: 24 steps to seductive mastery. Now let's get tactical. Greene's 24-step seduction process. It's a 4-phase journey. The approach to spark curiosity, the emotional pull to entwine their heart, the deepening to lock them in, and the close to seal the victory. Here, how it unfolds with each step brought to life. Phase 1. The approach. Step 1. Choose the right victim. Your target is everything. Pick someone receptive, not impenetrable. A happy, settled soul is a fortress with locked gates. A restless one, bored, lonely, or dreaming, is a door ajar. Imagine a barista sketching in her break, her pencil dancing across a napkin, her eyes drifting to the horizon beyond the cafe window. She's ripe for seduction, her mind already wandering. Step 2. Create a false sense of security. Don't charge in with intent blazing. Ease in gently like a shadow slipping into light. Be a friend, a listener, a safe harbor. Casanova spent weeks chatting with a noblewoman over tea in a Venetian parlor. No flirtation, just quiet trust, until she let her walls crumble. For your barista, it's casual talks about her day, her art, the weather, building a comfort that feels like home. Step 3. Send mixed signals. Predictability kills intrigue. Keep them off balance with subtle shifts. One day you're warm, joking over her doodles, sharing a laugh about a spilled latte. The next, you're distant, lost in a book, barely nodding as she hands you your coffee. Josephine teased Napoleon this way. Flirty dinners filled with lingering gazes, then days of silence that left him reeling. Your barista wonders why you've changed. It's a puzzle she can't resist solving. Step 4. Appear as an object of desire. Let others want you. Envy is a powerful magnet. Ninon de Lenclos, a 17th-century courtesan, flaunted suitors to spark jealousy. Kings and poets vied for her glance in Parisian salons. You might laugh with the barista's coworker, her eyes flicking your way, or draw a small crowd at the cafe counter with a story. It's social proof. Desire spreads like wildfire. Step 5. Create a need. Stir their emptiness, hint at what's missing in their life. Cleopatra dangled Egypt's exotic allure before Caesar. Adventure, mystery, a world beyond Rome's marble halls. For your barista, it's praise for her sketches, a quiet "you could do so much more," nudging her toward freedom, recognition, escape. Seduction feeds on longing. Plant that seed and watch it grow. Phase 2. The emotional pull. Step 6. Master the art of insinuation. Don't declare your intent, suggest it with subtlety that teases the mind. A sly grin as you hand her a tip, a cryptic "saw this and thought of you" with a sketchbook you leave behind. Casanova sent a lover a rose with no note,